All right, welcome to the Daily Fantasy Flex Podcast, the NBA edition. It is Friday, January 20th, and we are here for a pretty nice 9-game slate. We have some interesting games, including the game that has the highest ever total, at least in our trends database, which will be obviously one of the ones that we discuss. But first, let me introduce my co-host as usual, Justin, Phan, Jay Persson. Jay, how's it going, man?
Good, Bryan. Doing all right. It's inauguration day. I know a bunch of people are watching, but in my opinion, we had the inauguration last night of Nikola Jokic. 4 more years of him dominating opposing big men, so I'm excited for that. As
you should be. Exciting times in Denver for sure. Justin, what's going on, man?
Yeah, I'm just glad Kyle Quinn isn't on the slate. Having to make a decision of whether to play him or
just the Knicks in general. Yeah.
But yeah, excited for this Dubs Rockets game. Should pop off pretty nicely. And happy Hazonia Day, Jay Sean. We should see more Hazonia tonight with Jody Meeks and
both out. Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. So on that note, we'll hit on injuries in 1 second, but we'll keep our usual structure here where we're going to hit on injuries, a couple games, and then move into positions. The games that we're going to discuss are Rockets, Warriors. This game is in Houston. A really good game earlier in the year. Should be another good one here. It's the highest ever total in our database. It opened at 237.5. It's down at 236 now, but still very high. Warriors are 5.5-point road favorites here. And then the other one we're going to discuss is going to be the Trailblazers at the 76ers. It doesn't have a super high total at 208.5. But close game. Blazers are 1.5-point favorites. There's some other high total games like Lakers, Pacers, but those are going to be tough just because of minutes and stuff. But we'll dive into those. But Jay, I'll let you run through injuries because the Hazonia one is slate changing really.
It's life changing. We'll get into that. But yeah, starting off with the Toronto guys, we haven't gotten any word. They took yesterday off, so no word yet on Patrick Patterson, Lucas Nogueira, and Damari Carroll. That could shake up a little bit of the slate for sure. Jeremy Lamb ruled out again with the foot injury. And then we discussed Evan Fournier, Jody Meeks. CJ Wilcox also ruled out as well, so they're really thin at the 2 position. And Hazonia is going to have a career game for sure. Ty Lawson questionable again with that twisted left ankle. Probably won't know in time because I don't think any of the beat writers know. And he was probable, I think, 2 games in a row and then ruled out. So we'll see on him. Rudy Gay ruptures Achilles, so he's obviously out for the rest of the season. Ryan Anderson was at shoot-around, listed questionable, on track to play, but he did need an IV during shoot-around, so we'll kind of monitor that and see what his status is leading up to game time. Taj Gibson will play. He was questionable earlier. Rodney Hood out again, likely out 1 to 2 weeks. George Hill will play after injuring his ankle at the end of last game. Andrew Bogut remains out. Dirk injured his ankle last night, and I think there's a decent chance he sits on the back-to-back. They do play Sunday too, so we could see potentially him or another member of the Mavs sit tonight. And Luol Deng questionable with the wrist injury.
Awesome. Okay, well let's jump into our games. Let's start with the less intriguing one. We'll finish up with Rockets and Warriors because this one definitely very, very juicy, probably going to dictate a lot of slate value. So let's start with Blazers are in Philly tonight, and this game, like I said, is supposed to be a close one at 1.5 points in favor of Portland, 208.5 spread. Justin, I'll start with you. So I think we could probably all be in agreement that Joel Embiid against this Portland team that really struggles rebounding, struggles defending the post with Mason Plumlee. Embiid has a massive 5.23 opponent plus minus. He's the nuts. We can all agree on that. So what are your thoughts on Embiid? You can just say yes. And then what are your, any other guys from these teams?
Embiid is still, 500, 500 to 1,000 underpriced. I think he probably needs to be closer to like 9K for me to even kind of think about him that hard on FanDuel, especially in this matchup. So, I think he's probably the number 1 overall play. You got to start with him on FanDuel. Beyond that, we've talked about this Sixers defense, with this new lineup and with the 3-man combination of TJ McConnell, Robert Covington, and Joel Embiid on the floor. They have a defensive rating this season of 97.3, and the top defensive rating mark of any team this season is 101.1. So they'd be the number one defense, with those three on the floor. So I think we need to start taking this Sixers defense pretty seriously now. I don't really have too much interest in any of these Portland guys as a result. I think they're kind of fairly thin as tournament plays too. I just don't want to mess with this defense too much. I think, I don't know. I think the only guy I really have too much interest in cash is Embiid. You can look at Ilyasova at 5,300 on DK, pretty interesting. And what do you think about Mason Plumlee at 5,200? Obviously going up against Embiid, but that's a decent price, and he's flashed a little bit of a ceiling this season.
I know Jay just won't test Embiid, right?
No way, man. No, yeah, I don't want any of Plumlee. Definitely not. It's all about Embiid. The thing with Embiid, I guess, is the tournament angle here. Obviously, he's the cash play at the position, but centers against Portland, this is nothing new. People have caught on. They do have the highest ownership this season, centers against Portland, out of any center. So there's something to make of that in tournaments. If you do want to pivot away from Embiid, he'll most certainly carry the highest ownership. But yeah, I'm with you that nobody else really intrigues me. Ilyasova's fine, but it's still I'm not going to look to go him. And then, even though Plumlee's cheap, it's just I don't want to touch Embiid. Embiid has the lowest opponent field goal percentage at the rim out of all centers in the league. He's better than Gobert. So
yeah. So the interesting thing, and we can get into this later when we get to the center breakdown. If you're going to fade Embiid, you gotta have an option there that has a pretty damn good ceiling, because I think Embiid has a very, very good shot at 40 FanDuel points today, if not more. So you're going down this list. I'm kind of struggling to really find someone that I'm in love with. You can maybe look at Miles Turner versus the Lakers or something. I'm not going to touch Boogie Cousins too much against the Grizzlies. And then, you go down this list. You look at these options, kind of makes it harder to really justify an Embiid fade, even with that high ownership attached.
I think there are a few guys. We'll get into it, but it's just
Miles is pretty nice. Yeah,
Miles is very nice. Yeah,
we'll get into that for sure. So interjecting quick thoughts here. I think if you're going to go any guy for Portland, I don't think it's Mason. I think it's Dame, just because if you think how Dame can score points, he's a guy that can just pull up from that corner and get hot in that regard. So a guy who can sort of avoid Embiid if they elect to do that. I don't think it's a good matchup. I don't think you need to chase it at his price, but if you're looking for a guy who may not be quite as affected by Embiid's great defense, it's probably him. The other guys sort of rely on getting to the rim, being around the basket, even if it's Harkless or some of these other guys in the league. So, any interest in McConnell going against Dame?
Not much.
I'm kind of waiting for him to kind of get back to 100%, and Sergio's kind of inserted himself there. So,
that's fair.
Yeah, Evan Turner revenge game.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I don't think so. I will say that I think McCollum is sort of one of the easier fades of the slate, just because he definitely likes to operate sort of in the middle tier range and slash and do things like that, which means he'll have to deal with Embiid, and he'll also draw the Robert Covington matchup. So big fade there. Cool.
That's fair.
Any other thoughts on this game, or really just like heavy Embiid, and then maybe pick your spots with Ilyasova and maybe a little Dame if you want to get risky.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. Heavy Embiid, and I like the Dame call too for tournaments, light exposure.
For sure. All right, let's move on to this Houston Golden State game. Obviously, one of the juiciest games that we've really had in the last, since NBA DFS has been a thing. So definitely not something that I don't think we want to take lightly here. It was a good game in that first matchup. So Jay, I'll start with you. Do you just stack this game? Do you just roster everyone?
Yeah, the goal is to try to get as many people, I think, as you can. But the problem is they're all priced up, and it's just unrealistic when you have Harden, KD, the two elite guys probably on this slate, it's going to be very difficult. Harden is extremely expensive, so it's kind of going to come down to who you pick at the top of these games, and then try to find some value. I mean, Beverly's underpriced, could be all right.
Eric Gordon is really nice on DK.
Yeah, Gordon's the other guy. So there are a couple of guys value just getting a piece of this game. But yeah, I think this game is, especially in tournaments, I would definitely focus big time. Maybe take a hit at some other positions chances with really, really cheap guys and just kind of load up on this game because the total is the highest in our database, like you said. And the only other game we kind of have this season, especially, is the 235 with Portland Golden State. I think like a month ago. And Golden State won by 45. So not much to look at there. I fully expect this to be a close game, though. We saw this matchup going to double OT last time at Oracle, and Houston pulled off a win. So I definitely expect this to be a close one, and that's really, really good for us, especially on the Warriors side, because they've been in a lot of blowouts lately, and they're still hitting value.
Definitely really, really juicy here. I mean, this is like the Packers-Falcons game. It's just like
it is, yeah. Which I'm also excited about. It's
amazing. So I think that you can make a case for all these guys. If we're looking sort of the mid-tier range here, like we talked with specifically with sort of Beverly, you could throw a reason there. And then a guy that I really like tonight quite a bit is Gordon. I'm fine with going Gordon and even Harden in cash games. I think you can go both of them in the same position. What are your thoughts there, Justin?
Yeah, I like Gordon a lot on DK, way too underpriced. And we talked last pod about that ankle being a little bit concerning heading into Milwaukee, but he showed that even in a back-to-back, he was still able to produce. He put up 25 points against the Bucks last game. So any concerns about that ankle are kind of removed. And I'm totally fine with Gordon cash at 5,600. Do we have a preference here on the studs? I think it's pretty clearly between Harden and KD. Probably lean Harden for sure, definitely based on how he's been playing lately. Though KD's been extremely efficient lately, and that Warriors offense has like a 61, 62 true shooting percentage collectively this month, which is pretty obscene. But yeah, I think Harden is kind of the stud you look to build your teams around. On both sides, I'm good with him. And I think Steph definitely more of a tournament play, especially with Bev and especially with kind of the other options I'm looking at on the slate. Draymond I think is solid. He should have a pretty solid game. Definitely in the mix at power forward on FanDuel at 8,200. And I think Ryan Anderson, especially with that IV, him dealing with an IV, I'm kind of moving him over to tournament only. Ariza has done better in kind of these types of games, but definitely only he's probably tournament only for me. I don't think I'm going to cash him in this spot. And Beverly's interesting. In these matchups against the Dubs before, he's kind of just totally ignored the whole basketball part and tried to just get in step ahead and be overly physical with him. So, I like the spot obviously, but I don't think he's a guy I'm kind of looking as a really strong cash game play though. Though I get the reasoning behind that.
Yeah, I think Gordon is definitely the cash guy you want, and then Bev and Ariza are really nice tournament options for sure. I agree with the Harden over Durant call. I mean, I think that if you're looking at studs that you want, those are sort of like two of the best three in the slate. So that's not a knock on Durant by any means. But if you're nitpicking here, I think Harden, I think he just has a ceiling that Durant can't really not that he can't get to, but I mean, Harden just, with the triple-double bonus, triple-double upside, his ability, especially in this game, you're just looking at market share of fantasy points or something. Harden, if they're going to score this many points, Vegas is projecting them for with Harden's assist rate and rebound rate. I mean, he just has a massive ceiling.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a 9% difference in their usage rate this season. Harden's all the way up at 35%, and Durant's down at 26%. So, I mean, just by that alone, that kind of encapsulates what you're talking about with market share.
Yeah, I mean, he is more expensive, but I think it's warranted. What are your thoughts on that argument, Jay?
Yeah, I'm on Team Harden for sure, but I also like getting some as a cheaper tournament pivot alongside Eric Gordon, might go on cash, but Beverly in tournaments too. I don't mind exposure. He's been playing pretty well lately, and is 5,600 on DK. So, but what do you guys think of what has to give with the 3-point? We see Houston obviously shooting 37% from three, palms all the time. Warriors allow opponents to shoot 31% from three this season, by far the lowest, especially lately, 24% over the last 4 games. So this kind of is the whole matchup, really, with how the Warriors defend the three. Is there any way the Warriors are playing? Is there potential downside with some of these Rockets guys?
I don't think they regularly face a force like Harden that really sucks in and draws in so much attention to the paint, and he really knows how to kind of manipulate and mold the defense to his liking, given just his all-around scoring ability. So I'm not too worried about it.
I mean, if you look at like a similar offensive guy who sucks in and draws the defense, I mean, not that they're similar players, but LeBron does that. And I mean, the Cavs got crushed, but if you just watch like 10 minutes, it's not like they were having like ridiculously hard shots. Like Cavs were getting, fairly decent 3-point open shots, and they just were missing him because of Love's back and Korver wasn't quite into it. But I don't think that the Rockets aren't just going to get any good looks. I mean, they may not go in, but I'm not worried about the quality of looks in this high total game.
Yeah, I agree. With that said, I think I'm putting jelly beans on the Warriors to cover
5.5. Yeah. I think that's not a bad move.
Yeah, too much. But
is Draymond fine in cash?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, on FanDuel, he has a very safe floor.
Yeah, definitely. It's huge. So, yeah, he's clear. The 3 cash guys that you want to try to get in are Harden, Durant, and Draymond, I think. And then after that, you get more realistic plays in Eric Gordon maybe. And, you're really going to have to struggle to find value plays elsewhere if you want these guys, which you do.
And especially if you go Embiid. I mean,
That's what I'm saying. You get Harden, Durant. I mean, can you even get that really? Harden, Durant, and Embiid?
You might have to choose between Harden and Durant.
So my argument for Harden, I think, is kind of solidified by PG being at small forward today against the Lakers.
PG's real nice against the Lakers.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty easy to play. I like Durant a lot today, but there's no reason, very little reason for you to go Durant over PG given the price differences.
PG's not even the most expensive guy on his team. Jeff T is like his 700 more expensive.
Yeah, but he should be.
He's been playing really well. Yeah, PG's been struggling, but against the Lakers, it's hard to argue that.
Yeah, that's fine.
But any other thoughts on this game, or you want to start on our point guards?
Yeah, any interest in the center situation? I don't think we want to target centers against the Warriors too often, and I think Capella and Nene should be good to go. I don't believe this is a back-to-back actually for the Rockets. So
front leg,
front leg. So we should see maybe limited Capella again. He's been kind of limited. I saw like about 10 minutes his first game, and then Nene probably is going to be fairly limited if he's going to play both legs of the back-to-back. So
some Montrez,
Montrez shares. I don't mind that.
In a game stack, it's not bad.
Yeah. You want to stack this game? I'm fine with getting some him too.
He's like athletic too, so it's like he's like burdensome for them to leave on the floor. And against this Warriors offense, he's pretty athletic, so it kind of fits well in that fast-paced style that this kind of game projects to be.
Definitely 2 of the top 3 pace teams.
Yeah. I mean, which is why that total's so high for sure.
Yeah.
Let's move to point guards here. We'll try to be very value driven, I think, in these positional breakdowns, just because if we want to get these guys from the Warriors Rockets game in with Embiid, we're going to have to find some value. So we'll keep that in mind and definitely try to shout out as many low end guys as we can find here. So Jay, let's start with what we project to happen with this Orlando situation with Fournier already ruled out. Jody Meeks is obviously out 4 to 6 weeks here. So is DJ Augustine a guy that you're comfortable with if he slides into the starting spot with if they just go dual point guard with Peyton?
Yeah, I think they will do that too and put Augustine on Brogdon and Elf on Snell. So that if that's the case, yeah, like you said, you really need to find value, and this is a spot kind of capitalizing on the thin Orlando backcourt that you need to take advantage of. And if Augustine draws the start, I feel pretty safe he can pay off. I think he's min price on FanDuel. So,
yeah, he's like 3K on both sides.
Yeah, so like I don't love it, but yeah, you're gonna have to look at guys like that, and he's minimum price. So yeah, I think that's a good spot to start. And then it sucks really because there are a lot of point guards that are really nice today that are gonna be really difficult to fit if you go Harden and Embiid. So Elf I think still is underpriced. He has a +4 ± on DraftKings in the 8 games without Fournier this season. 32.8 DraftKings points in those games. That leads the team. Only a 24.2 implied total on FanDuel. So I think he easily exceeds that, and that's really good value. And then we can get into Conley facing Darren Collison. That's a dream matchup for him. Collison's 79th out of 86 point guards in defensive real ±. So you got just a slew of guys who are great options, but the realistic ones, if you're going Harden and Embiid, are going to be these cheap guys.
Yeah, for sure. What are your thoughts on Augustine, Justin? And I mean, there's a lot of guys that I think are really, really good spots. And if you're sort of looking at the top, Lowry against Charlotte, and he's a really nice ±, remains really cheap. Also, Narrative Street.
All-Star games.
This is the first game he's played since being off the All-Star starting ballot. So that might be thin. But, I mean, he's very good price, very good play. Conley's, I think, a good play. You could even roll it back with Kemba in that Lowry game. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good plays here. But I mean, these guys I'm sure they're probably just going to be low owned. I mean, Teague against the Lakers is real nice too.
Yeah, that's kind of one I'm eyeing. Teague against the Lakers. I like that spot a lot. He's shown really nice triple double potential.
Yeah, he's had at least 8 assists in his last 10 games.
Yeah, I think Jay Sean and I were fading a game from Teague, and he would like have have an assist. He had an assist to score like every basket.
Yeah, it's unreal.
He has that massive ceiling. So I like Teague a lot. Let me go back to Augustine and Elf real quick. And obviously they got a bump here with Meeks and Fournier out, and that's pretty clear. But I do see downside here as well against the Bucks. This is not a matchup I want to attack at all. The Bucks are second to last in efficiency allowed to opposing point guards. So this isn't a spot that I love too much just overall for that team. But I think they're fine at their price points. I'm not enthused about like playing DJ Augustine today. I think it's
necessary.
Right. I think it's necessary, but that's at the same time I think there's downside too. I don't think he's a guy I feel too great about overall, but I do agree that they'll probably go dual point guard, especially with their alternatives being Hazonia and TJ Watson, not Wilcox. Yeah. So and those guys are Hazonia and Watson are guys that Vogel doesn't really have immense trust in. So I expect him to definitely ride that Augustine Elf backcourt as much as he can.
Yeah, I mean, it's a brutal spot for sure. But I mean, if he's going to approach 30 minutes, I mean, even if it's in like the 27, 28 range at min price, and it gives you access to it would be a thin play maybe on a different slate, but because of like that high total of the Warriors Rockets game, like you sort of have to go Augustine, I think.
Yeah, I mean, what's the next like cheapest point guard that you're gonna go? They're way up there, way more. So
yeah,
I mean, we can come back around to this when we go through other positions, just kind of see if you don't have to go him. I agree. I don't want to go him, but like I really want to go Harden. So that's just kind of how it works.
Yeah, I think you do. But I think it's fine too. Like I think like he has to hit like a 13 FanDuel points to hit value at mid price. So I mean, like, if he gets like, like 17 to 18, like that's fine if it gets you Harden.
Yeah, but this just emphasizes some of these other point guard plays. I mean, if you say you fade the Golden State game, which is a viable strategy, when the Warriors win by 35 or whatever.
Yeah.
You got guys like Kemba at home again did well last game, not great, but he went for 40, 10, and 7 against them earlier in this matchup this season. So he has upside.
Lowry Kemba stacking that is really nice contrarian.
And then my favorite game outside of the Warriors, I think, to stack and target a lot of guys is that Lakers game, Indy, the Indy team total size. So, yeah, Teague is right there too. Kind of like heavy term exposure with a lot of those Pacers guys.
Yeah, that's the game. I have a game of the day in my written breakdown that's coming out in a little bit, and that's the game I'm breaking down just because if you look at Teague and PG and Miles Turner against centers against Lakers centers, like those are three guys like you could viably stack.
Definitely. What about Drew? I know his minutes have just been cut massively.
Yeah, Langston went off last game, right?
But, like any tournament intrigue with this matchup?
I'm not touching Drew if I can go like Teague or like Kemba. I like Teague way more than Drew Holiday just because of the minutes, and I feel reasonably comfortable projecting Teague for like 32 to 34 minutes. I don't even know if Drew's going to play 30 minutes in this one.
Yeah, he hasn't been. I know.
Yeah, he hasn't been. And obviously, I think people are going to look at the last matchup that he played against the Nets, and obviously he snatched because Andy Davis was out. So, I think that's kind of not a fair representation of like what we should expect. And Drew's still nice. Obviously it's the Nets. But I think I just like Teague better. And obviously you got Kemba, put up
I like a lot of guys better.
66 against the Raptors last time they played like was previously.
Why did Gallo get 32 minutes last game? 31.
I don't know. He's really not playing.
Yeah, Langston Galloway got like 32 minutes last game.
Yeah, I mean he's been playing kind of hot hand with those guys, and it's kind of been who gets hot between him and like Buddy Hield has seen his minutes cut recently. So it kind of goes back and forth a little bit. Yeah,
Gallo has 7 threes in his last 2 games, so just a hot shooting him.
But yeah, Tyreek's been a big effect on Drew too. With Tyreek in games over 20 minutes has significantly cut Drew's output. So yeah, it's tough. But the matchup is there. Any love for D'Angelo Russell at all? Kind of targeting that game bounce back spot after kind of being benched last game.
Oh, well, that's my concern is that he's just had such volatile minute loads. I mean, we always
isn't that good for attorneys though? I mean,
no, that's fine. Yeah, I just think that it might skew. It's volatile in that it might skew low more than high.
Oh yeah,
but I mean, him and Randall were the guys that that were intriguing just because they were like the young guys that are getting minutes and now they're not. I think the guy to start from that game is Ingram, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been – I mean, Luke's been playing that bench pretty extensively. I mean, he left Tarek Black in there for quite a while.
And bench Mozgov,
Yeah, and it was – I mean, if you're kind of comparing these tournament plays, I like Russell even less than Drew because I see them both as having minutes as kind of a question mark, and I like Drew's upside.
I agree.
Yeah. Randall's the guy. If I pick between Russell and Randall, Randall's the guy who's more tournament intrigue for me.
Yeah, you're going against Stad. I think that's a good call.
Yeah. So obviously we got to mention Mike Conley, been extremely solid. Definitely more of a cash game play for me, and I don't think I'm going to probably cash him on the slate. But he's definitely been extremely consistent this season. I mean, for like a dozen games now, he's put up like 35 plus and like 11 of those as well. So I like him a lot. Anybody else that we want to shout out here before we move on? Obviously,
that's most.
That's about it. Yeah.
Yeah, we can save Giannis for shooting guard, I guess.
Yeah.
I think
or small forward.
Yeah.
Point guard. Yeah, it depends on your site. Yeah. What a crazy thing. All right, let's move on to shooting guard then. So obviously the sort of 3 of the biggest guys that you would probably want to roster in both formats, being Harden, Eric Gordon, and Clay, we've already hit on. So we'll eliminate those from discussion now, even though we definitely think that they're elite plays. So the question here is, if Drew is limited or, if his minutes are limited at least. I mean, like, let's go back to this Pelicans roster. We got Tyreek and Buddy Hield, at shooting guard. I think Buddy Hield's his minutes have been a little bit too low, but I mean, if Tyreek's going to keep on going up, is he at least, someone who's shooting against the Nets?
Yeah,
I think the question is, are you willing to cash Tyreek on FanDuel? Because he's 5,800 there, and he needs 26, 27 FanDuel points to be a good play. and he's like easily done that.
But it's been in such low minutes. Like, and I'm not saying that he can't do that against the Nets, but like there's a lot of risk there too.
Yeah, because he's probably going to play like 22, 23 minutes.
That's all he needs. Look at the points per minute. He's third among shooting. He's ahead of DeRozan in points per minute. He's only behind Harden and Giannis. I'm fine with him. That's decent salary for me. Salary cut to save there. So Tyreek's probably the stronger play as a value on FanDuel. So I'm still fine with him even in limited minutes with this matchup. He's shown he can contribute in limited minutes already.
And so would you cash Tyreek and Mario?
No.
Well, I'm going, I mean, Mario's better than Harden, so yeah, that's what I'm looking at. There are a few other guys, though, too. I mean, if
Nick Batum, man.
If you can afford him.
That's the problem, like, you're not going to pick up.
Good luck, yeah. That's going to be very tough.
With Eric Gordon, like, $3K cheaper and Harden $3K, like, he's just at a price point, like, where you're just never going to roster him, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I mean, we can keep talking about these other guys. I mean, like,
yeah, a guy I like, maybe not tonight, but is Joe Ingles. 6 games without Hood. He has team high plus 14.4 plus minus on DK, 33.5 minutes, 29.3 points. But I don't want anything to do really with this game. That low total. Their game total is like the Warriors' team total, basically. So tough spot. But in the future, if he's going to remain 4K. On FanDuel, he's small forward, but DK is both. So he's a guy, maybe not tonight, but in the next few games for sure. And then, I mean, you got some like what do you do with Hazonia for real? I mean,
I'm only doing it in tournaments because he's been so underwhelming this season.
So speaking of underwhelming.
I mean, Hazonia has a PR this season of 5.7. I mean, he's been
not ideal.
I don't want to talk about it.
I think he has like among the worst like plus minuses of anybody.
So speaking of underwhelming shooting guards, and this is like the most donkey call of all time, and I'm not even calling it, but let's just discuss him. Monte Ellis.
Yeah, he's a complete waste.
I mean, yeah, but like he played 28 minutes last game. He's going against the Lakers.
I'll tell you a story, Brian. Monte was 3,200 on DK, and he was like 40% owned, easy matchup. I think this was like 3 weeks ago, a month ago, maybe.
And that's exactly what he is today. Yeah.
What did he finish?
Yeah.
He finished with I want to say 3 points.
It was against the Nets.
Yeah, trust me when I say this. Yeah.
Jay and I both rostering that night.
Yeah. It was
donkeys because it was him. It was a thing from I think it was.
It was Monte's not on a minutes limit or something.
Yeah, so they're no longer on a minutes. Oh, he's probably going to play 27 minutes tonight, 26 minutes against the Nets, and just
his price was just a joke. Yeah, he was 3,700, so he's even cheaper now.
Yeah. So I mean, the problem with Monte, with what you're saying, with what you think Monte is and what he has been, is the usage has just been way down. He's not shooting at all with that second unit. Yeah. It's been a lot of Al Jefferson. They got Aaron Brooks there. I mean, he's barely shooting at all. He hasn't gone double digit field attempts since November 4th. Yeah. I mean, he has like one double digit field attempt game in like his last 20. So it's like. There's no reason to look there. It's just
it's
that's not shooting.
If you cash him, you're a braver soul than I went down that road and
you wouldn't cash. If you want to be weird and just like different and look at that game, then go like Lou Williams or Jordan. Those are the guys you kind of look at. So kind of going deeper here. Obviously, we like Jimmy Butler quite a bit, though he's at a weird price point where
I mean those high price guys like Giannis and DeMar are going to be like just
Giannis is kind of my tournament pivot for sure. Butler I like a little less, even though he's just been smashing, but I think he draws a more difficult matchup than Giannis. So if I'm pivoting off Harden in tournaments, I'm looking to at an equal price range, definitely going Giannis.
Yeah, I mean he's just going to be so low owned. I think.
Yeah.
Like at least that just is worth it at the very least. Even though like it's so tough, like he'd have to just put up like the game of his life to outpace Harden. You know.
Yeah.
So he'll be low owned, but I would still keep your ownership low on him as well.
Yeah, Garrett Temple's another guy worth bringing up. He's kind of this season the primary beneficiary with Gay out. Averaged 24.1 DK points in 11 games without Gay. Not a great spot, but he sees 4% bump in usage and 5.1 bump in plus minus, which are among the highest on that team. We haven't really seen much from Boogie with Gay out, so Temple's kind of been that guy, cheap, but against Memphis makes it kind of tough.
Yeah, I'm not going there. You look at 6 games a season without Gay and Caspi. Temple's averaging like 22.8 DK points, which is fine. That's solid. But like you kind of factor that matchup to get pretty. And this Kings team overall is something. This situation I'm going to look to avoid entirely, even with Gay out. And Boogie Cousins in those games without Caspi and Gay only averaged 47 points. I mean, he's struggled pretty. I think the narrative going around, at least like what I'm seeing, like in our ad replies and stuff like that, is Boogie's going to eat now suddenly with Rudy Gay out. No, but that offense becomes a lot worse. They got like an offensive rating of it goes down pretty significantly, I think. So not a situation I want to touch too much.
Yeah, we published an article from our own Sheriff Bill, who did a scouting report on Boogie. It's been his third one. He did one on Russ and Harden. He did one on Boogie yesterday, and he talked about how surprisingly Boogie has been less efficient, not quite as good. There's really been no impact on his fantasy performance with or without Gay. So you're going to see increased ownership, but slightly decreased production.
Yeah.
Really not fading.
Yeah. I mean, tonight he's playing Gasol, so it doesn't apply as much, but
sure. But in general, for the next 2 or 3 weeks,
for sure.
Yeah. Last guy we'll hit on, and little D Wade tournament action. I think it's fun.
No, but I think the thing with D Wade though is he's expected to play both legs of the back-to-back, so I don't expect him to play that many minutes today.
There's some downside. Yeah.
They're probably playing around 29 to 31, I'd say, in both legs if they want to. Play him tomorrow too. Yeah.
So before we move on, so if you're going hard and for sure, who's your realistic shooting guard number 2 on FanDuel?
Gordon,
like Tyreek or Gordon?
Eric Gordon or Tyreek? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I think I'd go Gordon.
I think mine's Tyreek as of now. Could change.
I mean, what I would probably pay up. I like Tyreek a lot.
Gordon's $300 more.
$300 more, and you're getting like a much higher minutes floor.
Yeah, he's gonna play 15 more minutes than Tyreek.
Tyreek's points per minute though, man. Don't sleep on it.
He'd have to be so efficient out pace Gordon here. I don't know. That's tough. Like
either way, but either way, we're looking at going them and not going Hazonia, Temple, or Ingles. No.
Yeah, let me see. Anybody else here that we're missing?
I love Batum too. I think Batum's great, but
Batum has such a nice floor here. But you're
no way I'm gonna afford him.
It's hard to fit.
Maybe
I mentioned Lou Williams. I think any interest in him as a tournament play. He's obviously really good spot here. In a game with a 220 over under. I think he's averaged like 31.3 FanDuel points in his last 3 games, if I'm not mistaken. Kind of flashed a little bit of a ceiling there too. So I think he's probably like my cheaper preferred tournament option at this position.
I guess so. All right, let's move on to just small forward. We'll keep on rolling through this. So we obviously mentioned Durant at the top in that game breakdown, but one guy that we had talked about in relation to Durant, who I think is, we agree is like the cash guy that we prefer at such a cheap salary. I mean, he's down at 7.4. Is Paul George against the Lakers? Yeah.
7-4.
Yeah, for Paul George against the Lakers, which is pretty ridiculous. So here's the question, guys. If we can't get Harden and Durant, we go to Paul George. Who's our second guy? I mean, we have Aaron Gordon in a pretty good.
It's his off game. He's really
he rotates.
Yeah, he rotates, and this one's not there. But like you mentioned earlier, I would like to go Ingram probably if Deng is out.
Deng is out, yeah.
In 3 games without Deng, he averaged 35 minutes, 27.2 DK points. So a team high 11.8 plus minus.
Are you worried about the matchup against PG?
I mean, at his price, not really, because we're clearly looking to save at every position because we want a piece of that Rockets game, and they're all expensive. So, no, I mean, you can look at MKG, but he's way too inconsistent at this point. And then really there aren't that many other cheap options. I mean, Ariza, I think, is tournament, and then you kind of get deeper, and it's not good for value plays.
Yeah, I agree. I think PG Ingram is the move if Dang is out. Justin, you have any problem with that?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Just stacking that game, really.
Yeah.
I mean, Aaron Gordon's still.
I'm good with Aaron Gordon.
Like,
I'm good with that. He has to see a nice bump in usage, and you got a lot of wing minutes now available. Yeah. I think he's going to have to play quite a bit of 3 in this one, and
he's been the best guy without Fournier, like per on-off tool.
Yeah, I think he did. I'd be surprised if he doesn't play 30 minutes in this one. I know, like this whole alternating on game.
Yeah. Small sample.
Yeah, but I think that's kind of noisy. That's kind of like a thing we're just like joking about and not taking it too seriously. So 5K on FanDuel, I think, is really nice for Aaron Gordon.
I'm fine with him. If we don't get word on Dang, then I think I'm fine with Gordon.
Yeah, because a lot of these other guys that we've mentioned, MKG, Bazemore, Bogdanovich.
I don't mind Bazemore a little bit.
You against Jimmy?
Who did you say?
I think we'll guard Jimmy. I think he'll be on Wade.
Bazemore?
Bazemore, yeah.
I don't want Bazemore.
Yeah, I don't want Bazemore either.
Why did he play 20 minutes last game? Because he'd been playing really nice minutes and then dropped down to 20. I sort of saw that as an outlier. And
I think it was a blowout, I believe.
I think Wade would be on Bazemore, but maybe I'm wrong in that.
I don't know. Either way, with Baze, he's got that floor he's shown so many times, especially when people are on him, where it's like, I'm going to settle for Baze because I'm not going to go anyone else small forward, and then he just.
Oh yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go him over Gordon or Ingram.
That's my point. I'm talking about the other guys as cash options, like Harkless. I don't think it's a cash option.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't go Baze in cash.
DeMarre Carroll has been very disappointing after that stretch where he's been playing really well.
GR3's had his minutes dropped.
DeMarre Carroll, by the way, let's mention him. He is playing tonight.
And P-Pad and Bebe are doubtful. It looks like. So I think it's pretty. You got to keep pretty tight there because there are a lot of guys there with pronounced downside.
And there's this mid-tier range, which I think you just fade this game, except for I think Gobert is Hayward and Harrison Barnes.
I agree. Yeah, I'm off both of them. It's a tough game to target. Kind of sets up well. Yeah, we'll get into Gobert. Gobert is the guy I take out of that game.
Yeah, I don't like this play at all. I'm just gonna throw it out there just because he's really cheap on DK, and he's probably gonna see like 30 minutes. Solomon Hill, any interest in him? He has a really low usage rate, 10.4% usage this season, but 30 minutes against the Nets at 3,200.
I don't know. He might get 12 points.
Yeah,
Give Tyreek 32 minutes though, and whew.
I mean, Solomon Hill is 200 less than Brandon Ingram. Like, in what universe does he outperform Ingram?
When Dang's in.
When Dang's in, yeah. Maybe even not. Maybe even with Dang in.
Probably close.
Brandon, I mean, we can talk crap about Solomon Hill per minute. Brandon Ingram's not good.
Yeah, Ingram's played.
Ingram's horrible per minute. Seriously, I mean, we've had him consistently at like 28 to 32 minutes. I wouldn't even go near him in cash because he's just
still better than Solomon Hill.
Yeah, Solomon Hill is the worst small forward in fantasy points per minute outside of DFS, Finney Smith. So Solomon Hill is the worst.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. I mean, small forwards. We talked about Butler, Jimmy for tournament, and then we can re-mention Durant, especially if we're kind of settling on Paul George and cheap.
All right, let me recalibrate that. Instead of Solomon Hill, Jeff Green at 3,100.
I don't know, man. I've made that trip a few times where he's in these similar spots, and I just don't know what his upside is. You'd think,
I don't know what his upside is. That's the problem. Yeah, he doesn't have a high enough floor or ceiling for me to really.
I think his floor is pretty nice. I think his floor is like 13, 14.
Well, his floor is like irrelevant because you're clearly not going to cash him. So his floor doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep on moving. All right, let's go to power forward. So Brow Whisperer Jay, what are your thoughts here?
I mean, I'm big on Brow today. Massive 114.8 team total last time I checked. huge for them. So, yeah, he's left, I think, 3 of the last 4 games with an injury. As the Brow Whisperer, he's good to go tonight. Fire him up.
My God.
Direct pivot to that Warriors game. If you fade that game, Brow's your guy you kind of pivot to.
He's the only guy that has probably the upside to be the highest scoring guy out of that, like even
absolutely. Yeah, he's clearly, So, obviously like Brow quite a bit. For cash, you can't go him because you want to emphasize the other guys, and you have to, at this point, especially fade that injury concern, even though it won't be tonight. But and then I think we have the standard guys. All the sharps will be on Thad. Of course, will be chalk 5,400 on FanDuel versus the Lakers. We talked about Draymond. Draymond's a cash play, but again, if we're looking at through this, and especially DK, I mean, it's going to be tough to kind of afford some of these guys.
What is Taj in the mix here?
Not really. Not seriously. I mean, he's been nice, but you got those guys. I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough.
Nice.
Like I think I mean, would you prefer? Yeah, here's a good question: Taj or Thad? Like that's tight for me.
It's tough. I would say Thad, but yeah, when you think about it, I mean, I think that's close too. I would say Thad because first the Lakers and
I go with that as well.
What about Ilyasova? What if you threw him in there?
I'd still go Thad.
Yeah, I mean, but this is. I mean, these guys are on the same range.
Yeah.
Zebo's up there as well.
Bounce back for Zebo after disappointing. There are a lot of guys that kind of like. I think Terrence Jones is intriguing for sure. You do have the massive upside there, and then. So I don't want to sleep on Jabari too much either. Jabari's still getting it done. We don't really talk about him as much anymore, but he has 16 games in a row with over 25 FanDuel points. So you talk about a guy with a really high floor and consistency. Jabari just every night gets it done.
The power forward is fairly tough. Especially in FanDuel where you have to get 2 of them. Like maybe you go Thad and Taj. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it's not no real dirt cheap options. But yeah, we can remention. I do like Julius Randle in a attorney spot. Some of the recency bias going against him, a string of consecutive poor games. So that kind of makes me at really low ownership and liking this game a lot from a tournament perspective. I'm pretty high on Randle tournaments.
And another guy, I mean, this is where we're doing every position. But I mean, we said we were going to be value focused, so we really have been. But a guy who's in a pretty good spot here, I think we would like him if it was a different slate. Is Millsap. I would be fine with cashing Millsap, but there's no universe in which you cash Millsap.
Not today. But yeah, I agree. Always like Millsap. So who is like DK cash when you're going Kate, Harden, and Embiid, you don't have much value. Who's kind of the power forward here? Do you try to get Draymond?
Gosh, that's tough, man. That's so tough. I mean, maybe you try to get Draymond, but would you rather have Draymond or Millsap?
Probably Draymond in this one.
Yeah, give me Draymond exposure to that game. I like that.
Yeah, lean towards.
I mean, I think that is still fine on DK. I think Ilyasova might be more interested on DK.
I think so too. Yeah, he's definitely viable attacking that Portland front court. Is always strong. So, but yeah, I think power forward going through is probably the kind of the toughest position to fill.
Are you fine with Ilyasova being your one guy on DK?
I'm not gonna pencil it in or anything, but yeah, he's an option. I mean, Portland, their front court is just horrible. So.
I mean, Jeff Green 3-1.
Yeah, maybe this is a
spot. I literally mentioned 5 minutes ago. You guys are the freaking worst, honestly.
I'm not going Jeff Green.
Yeah.
I'm still not going Jeff Green.
No way.
Just throwing him out there so Justin could explode.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe you tank and go dirt cheap. But
I mean, Marvin's been nice, but I don't like this matchup, and his minutes have been low. He's been efficient lately, but I don't like this matchup against him.
I don't know. He's up. He's an option though. That's cheap. 4,700.
47, man. It's nice. Yeah.
So
Dirk, if it wasn't against Utah, I mean,
I kind of think Dirk's going to sit tonight. I don't know.
Are you fine with Jabari 6'9" on DK?
I'd rather.
Or would you rather?
I'd rather pay. Yeah, I'd rather pay up for Draymond. So
not
really. Yeah, I'd restructure my lineup to make sure to get that extra.
Yeah, Paul George is.
I don't think Green Bay will for Draymond or Millsap.
Probably not. I mean, so what? Marvin Williams.
No, I'm good with Ilyasova. I think he's been really consistent with the usage, getting double attempts against this Portland front court. I'm good with that.
I mean, Aaron Gordon is power forward eligible on DK.
Yeah, he's
more expensive there. He is more expensive, but I mean, not like enough where you can't roster him.
I mean, I'd rather go Ilyasova just because I feel better with. I don't know. It's tough because I think Aaron Gordon definitely has a higher ceiling, obviously on the spot, but I feel better, a little safer with Ilyasova's floor.
That's fair. Okay. All right, Summer. We'll finish it up here. So obviously, like Embiid is like. He's the guy. But let's talk about guys below him just because, we have to. Turner, I think, is the really easy pivot here.
Yeah, I agree. Miles, there are three kind of tournament pivots I think I have, and the rest is just going to be all Embiid's exposure. But, Miles, I'm still intrigued with Vucevic. 2 disappointing games in a row. Kind of makes me like him even more at low ownership. So, we've seen his ceiling before the season. It's very nice. And then I forgot the third.
If you're on FanDuel, Jay, and like your cash lineup just comes down to like you love it every position, but for some reason you just have to go Miles instead of Embiid.
No, I'm going Embiid. No.
You would just restructure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. There's no way I'd love who I have at power forward is shooting guard.
Would you go to Jeff Green if we got you Embiid?
No, I don't think so. Embiid and cash, I'm just definitely going for sure. And then tournament, we mentioned it earlier with the ceiling of some of these other guys is limited, but I mean, just the ownership is the key here with Embiid. Everybody's going to be on him against Portland. And got the snub for the starting. I think I read he would have started if it were up to the fans, I believe. Got the most votes.
Yep.
Yeah, so he's going to come out strong as always. But I'm still intrigued by Miles and Vucevic.
I think LeBron got the most votes, but
that puts him in. I think Embiid would have been in though if they did it by that because it would just go down the line.
Yep. Mm-hmm. You're right. Mm-hmm. I mean, we mentioned Boogie, but it's obviously a really tough matchup against Memphis, and also with the Gay news, I think that we're sort of team fade here. Dwight was really, really poor in their last game. Sort of, has a floor that I think is not super interesting. The two guys that are sort of in the mid range, where if you want to pivot, it's like straight down from a beat in tournaments, just as a game theory. It's Gasol and Gobert.
Yeah. Gasol, I mean, the last game these teams played, only played 21 minutes. Game before, he did pretty solid. You do have the downside of facing Boogie isn't always good with the foul trouble, but Gasol's had some big games, so I don't know. I'd sprinkle some in, but it's not a guy I'm trying to really target to get away from Embiid. And then I think Gobert, you got to look at with Bogut out, has a pretty high ceiling in that one. Just a brutally slow-paced game, a lot of half-court sets. So,
but Dallas is easily the worst rebounding team in the league. Like playing centers versus Dallas has been like an easy thing. Like Gobert would be cash if it was
outside Whiteside last night. I mean,
if all right, just hypothetically, if Embiid was resting tonight or the 76ers game wasn't a thing, would you rather go Turner or Gobert and cash? I'd go Gobert, I think.
Gobert is really safe. Yeah.
I mean, he's been crushed in the last 2 games.
One thing with that game, just I could see Madrid starting in this one against that front court, and maybe Seth Curry go to the bench, and then that's even Dirk still might sit too. So either way, pretty off that game overall, but Gobert should be the tournament play to take.
Justin, hop in here, center. Justin is not hopping in here. Okay. Any other guys? I mean, I don't think that Gooch has been so bad lately.
I still like Vooch a lot in tournaments, for sure.
Are you? Yeah. I mean, so him and Brook Lopez are the same price. Oh gosh. I mean, yeah, it's pretty like it really sets up to where you want to have like so much Embiid, and then you want to have a lot of Turner and sprinkle in some Soul and Air. But I mean, these other guys, like, it's tough.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, when you're matching ceiling with some of these guys, it just kind of gets down to keeping it among a few. The last night was better, much better kind of distribution with ceiling. You had cheap guys to Tyson Chandler, just overall better. But yeah, it's Embiid and then a few tournament pivots for me.
Justin, are you still alive? Are you still here?
Yeah.
Do you have any center thing you want to say before we finish off?
No, that's about it.
All right, cool. All right, we'll end it there. Thank you everyone for listening. Good luck today in the tournaments tonight. Obviously, a pretty good slate with the Warriors Rockets game. Going to be interesting for sure. Good luck. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Good luck, guys.